It was a good first night for the Wisconsin Badgers, a 34-3 win against Western Kentucky at Camp Randall Stadium. Jonathan Taylor, in many ways, picking up where he left off in his freshman year. A couple of touchdown runs for Taylor, 47 and 30 yards respectively, and Alex Hornibrook with a couple of touchdown passes, and the defense, with a lot of new starters, showed very well in game number 1. We'll hear from some of the Badgers, and we'll check in with head coach Paul Chryst. All of that and more coming up on today's edition of the Badger Sports Report.
Jonathan Taylor, the lone running back. Kendrick Pryor wide to the left. Here's the handoff to Jonathan Taylor. Running left, 45-40, 35-30, slips a tackle. He's to the 20, Taylor the 10, Taylor the 5, touchdown Wisconsin. Jonathan Taylor, 47 yards to the end zone, and the Badgers take the early lead. Now go right to left, south to north, and Lottie's kick is in the air. He hit it pretty well. Craig backpedals at the 35-yard line, and he gets hit right away. Fayon Hicks getting down there in punt coverage after a 54-yard punt from Anthony Lott. Out Ferris on 3rd and 10 from the 50. Hornibrook again back to throw. Looking. He'll throw on the run. That's caught by Kendrick Pryor inside the 35 and down to the 30-yard line. DeAndre Ruffin over there on the coverage. And that's a 20-yard pitch and catch on 3rd and 10. Jonathan Taylor is the running back, and he gets the handoff from Hornibrook off the left side to the 25. Taylor the 20 to the 50, cuts inside 10, 5, touchdown Wisconsin. Jonathan Taylor, his second of the night, and this one is from 30 yards away.
Yeah, everything did seem like it was rolling. That was really good. I feel like we did a lot of good things tonight, and there are definitely some things we can improve on. So we're going to look at the film, and we're gonna work on that this week and get ready for the next game.
3rd and long for Hornibrook. Back to throw against a 4-man rush. Steps up, fires to the right, and that's caught inside the 30-yard line. Inside the 25 goes Jack Dunn. They'll mark at the 23-yard line of Western Kentucky. Hornibrook to Dunn, the first down connection. 2nd and 10 for the 23 of Western Kentucky. Pressure coming. Hornibrook to throw over the middle, and it is inside the 5 and caught by A.J. Taylor. Wow, he took a hit, he hung on. Ball at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal, Wisconsin. Jonathan Taylor, the tailback. Alec Ingold, the fullback. Kendrick Pryor out wide to the left. On 2nd down, Hornibrook play fake, rolls off to his left, looking, throws in zone. That is caught by Kendrick Pryor. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Left corner of the end zone. Badgers are in again, and it's 23-0, Wisconsin. LaFrance is the running back. Toss to the left, they'll reverse it. Jernigan lofts it out right side, and it's intercepted inside the 5-yard line. Fayon Hicks picked it off on the pass intended for the quarterback.
You know, everybody has to start somewhere, and whether it's young, old, you know, you gotta have trust in the people around you. And us learning from those guys, those All-Americans, those starters in front that was here before us, it just put us in a great position learning from them.
Hornibrook back into the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops the throw, and a screen to the left. Here's Groshek to the 45 to the 40-yard line. Garrett inside the 35 to the 30, still up. He's to the 20. Groshek the 10, the 5, touchdown Wisconsin. Oh, what work after the catch by Garrett Groshek. Bring it 4, pockets tight, ball's tipped in the air, picked off by T.J. Edwards, and he's all alone. In zone, it is caught for the touchdown. To the 20, to the 10, 5, touchdown Wisconsin. Pressure, and he is sacked just outside the goal line. A big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by Mercedes-Benz. Drive yours at Zimbrick European. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
It's Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get big clearance savings on the last of our 2018s. Like Rogue, with available Pro Pilot Assist.
Get a low $199 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models.
But hurry, The bottom line and our 2018s are almost gone.
Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
This is Camp-Kite, the spirit of Wisconsin. Eddie feels it. Kim embraces it. Even brother and sister get along. Friendship, warmth, and good cheer. That's Camp-Kite, and that's Wisconsin.
My salesperson is Joe Santowski, and from the moment I first walked through the doors here and he extended his hand to greet me, it's been the best relationship since then. He knows this brand and cars in general so well that I trusted him from the moment I met him. He was obviously so interested in exactly what I was looking for, what I wanted, but let me explore on my own.
This is where amazing happens, where ideas turn into realities. This is where they developed a better way to observe blood flow, a better way to visualize pediatric heart surgeries before they even happen. You see, at UW Health and the American Family Children's Hospital, they're not just changing the lives of their patients, they're changing the way the world treats complex pediatric conditions. UW Health. Remarkable.
Roshek, the running back to the right of Hornibrook, takes the snap. Hilltoppers bring in 3. Hornibrook looks, throws over the middle, and that is caught by A.J. Taylor at the 40-yard line of Western Kentucky. Drell Green on the stop. Good ball, good catch. First down, Wisconsin.
Good opening night performance for the Badgers. 34-3 winners against Western Kentucky on Friday night. A lot of good things, a lot of things to improve on. So I guess, Paul, that makes for a pretty good night. You know, game one, you have some stuff on tape now, and not a bad opening night, I guess, in the big picture, was it?
No, there's a lot of good things, and I think the best was just to get the season going, and yet we're gonna see there's a lot of things that we can get better at, and from all types. You know, we had a number of guys play their first meaningful snaps, and there's nothing like that, and it's also good to get kind of out of the way, and not always young players. You know, I think of Taiwan Deal and Zach Bond, 2 guys that missed, you know, all last year due to injury, and yet came in, and Zach, it was fun. Zach, I think, just was enjoying playing the game. And Taiwan, you know, for a guy that had missed time, you know, I thought he was patient and did some good. But for everyone, you know, it was important to get that first game under your belt, and it's never easy to win, and you appreciate all that went into it, and yet there's a lot of things that can be corrected.
From a defensive standpoint, against this team with a different quarterback, a little different approach from last year when they threw the ball all over the lot. Communication is always key, but maybe magnified in an opening game against a quarterback you hadn't really seen much on video.
Yeah, and not only that, but you know, just they gave us enough different formations that you really had to communicate, and you know, as the play went on, they're going from a 4-by and really none, and then going to a 2-by-2. There's a lot of things that came up, and you know, I thought a number of guys stepped up, made significant plays on defense, and I was proud of the way that they played in the red zone. You know, they really did a good job. I think we had 2 takeaways in the red zone. But more importantly, they just kept playing each play, and you know, early the first drive of the second half, you know, it was 2 plays, maybe 3 plays, and they're down in our end zone or down our end of the field. But they bowed up, and you appreciate that. You
mentioned those 2 turnovers. There was some of your young guys involved there. Eric Burrell knocking the ball out on one, and Fayon Hicks. They're trying to run a little gadget play, stays with it. I mean, you could go on and on, I guess, but to see young guys like that make, you know, big plays is pretty cool.
It was cool, and I thought Caesar Williams, a couple where, you know, they were targeting him in one-on-one situations, and he stepped up big. And my favorite play from Fayon, though, was the on the punt. You know, he was one of our gunners and timed it up perfect, and that's on the teach tape. You know, that's exactly how you want it to be, and he knew that, and the group knew that, and that was good to see. I thought even, you know, our special teams, it was good to see Anthony Lottie. He punted well, you know, and did a nice job, and then it was good to see Aaron. You know, I thought he was decisive in the return that he was able to take. So there's some good things, and boy, there's a number of things we got to clean up.
You mentioned Aaron Cruikshank. Fans got a glimpse. It was a glimpse of how fleet of foot he is, right? I mean, he's still learning the game, and he was the first to say it in a conversation I had with him recently, but I could see why the Badgers and a lot of other schools were really interested in this guy.
Right, and it was good for him just to kind of get that first action going, and he certainly has speed, but he's also got some toughness to him, and he's got ability, and so I'm excited to see, you know, there's some young receivers that need to continue to grow, and you know, it was fun also though to see Jack Dunn. Jack Dunn had a big catch on the third down. It was third and extra long, and the 2-minute drive, and Adam Krumholz got a little bit of action. I was proud of the way that A.J. Taylor responded. You know, had a couple of, you know, one drop and one that I thought he could have made, but he had a big play right before to get us down to the goal line, and it was good to see him just kind of compete and get through it. It shows you that, you know, there's a lot of talk about the young guys playing, but the older guys need to get kind of back into the groove, and I thought we were able to do that, and now we've got to take a jump from game 1 to game 2.
Yeah, and certainly some credit in some stretches there to the Western Kentucky defense, because it looked like it was causing some problems. And, you know, if it's young guys or a veteran offensive line, veteran running backs, whatever, there's that communication that in the first game you have to deal with, because Western had a stretch there where it was doing a pretty good job getting after Alex.
They did, you know, and you know, I think that we had some protection issues that we had to clean up. We took one pressure, I don't think we got sacked on, but one pressure where there's a 3-man rush, and really, you know, Grosh ended up chipping the guy kind of out of the lane, and he kind of, I think, screwed up the tackle a little bit, and there's a lot of things that, like I said, we did well, and yet a number of things that we've got to clean up and we can get better at, and that's what's kind of exciting.
You mentioned Anthony Lottie, Rafael Gaglianone popping through a couple more field goals. He had a really great stretch run last year. Good to see that continue here tonight. Again, veteran, but you don't know. You know, it's a new year, and acted like he's been around before and took care of business for you.
And Hoff has been around, but it's good to get. There's nothing like game action, and that's what we're able to get. And a number of players got to play, and so we've got to do a good job of just taking care of the things that we can improve upon from week 1 to week 2, and they'll do that. You know, next week, you know, we got a challenge of school starting on Wednesday, so they've got to be able to handle that, that's part of their world. But it'll be new for some of the freshmen, you know, where you're dealing with that. But it's I liked it. There was enough good, and you appreciate all that goes into winning a game. You know, that's never easy, and yet there's a number of things that we got to clean up. And told the team afterwards, we'll have practice next week.
It's not canceled. Breaking news. All right, Badgers get the opening night win. New Mexico comes into Camp Randall this Saturday, 11 o'clock kick here in Madison. Coach turns in a few minutes with the great day and great question of the week as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
Ever since she can remember, she's wanted to become a doctor, a surgeon to be exact. Maybe it's because she's good at science, or because she loves math, or maybe it's because Lydia was born with a serious craniofacial anomaly, a cleft lip and palate that required a series of complex surgeries. And now she just wants to help others, just like the surgeons at UW Health helped her. UW Health and the American Family Children's Hospital. Remarkable.
Just with the young guys behind us, just like the fact that they were communicating and talking the whole game just really makes you feel confident in them, and obviously they played really well, especially our corners tonight.
With a team like Western Kentucky being last in rushing last year, we knew they wanted to come in the game and throw the ball. So them having that edge, you know, they got some fast guys. For us to only give up 3 points and being this young, I just think it just makes us hungrier and want to do better.
There's definitely a lot that we can tighten up. Personally, there's definitely a lot that I can tighten up. A lot of tackling, catching the ball, communication stuff. But it was good. We kind of we got our feet wet. We're in, and we'll only get better from here.
You know, it gives us a chance to reevaluate and reflect on ourselves as a unit, with a new group, you know, a new identity, and just see what we are as a defense. Obviously, the win is great, but there's much to be improved on, much to be improved on communication, technique.
You know, just knowing the pieces that we had and to finally, you know, just to get it, you know, to put in action. I thought, you know, the young guys were just very good in the moment and, you know, not letting it get too big and just, you know, doing what they had to do. And, you know, that's all we can really ask.
I mean, it's always a little nerve-wracking getting out there for the first time, but I think the coaches really prepared me, and also my teammates really helped me focus in. And all through the whole week, I was kind of mentally preparing for this, and it was awesome to kind of get that.
Just kind of what we do. It seems like it's cookie cutter. We get another new guy, and they're ready to play, and they can block, they can catch, they can do it all, and it's definitely a really big component of our offense, and we wouldn't be as good as we would be without, you know, really good tight ends. And then you get new faces in there who could still do it. It just adds to the depth. I mean, you're never going to be discouraged when you can have depth at each position.
It's pretty good, you know. Like I always say, like Coach Gilmore always has a motto. He'll tell like whoever's in front, like starter or whoever, like somebody's in front of you, protect that job, or whoever's behind you, like take that job. And that just helps keep the room competitive. So like when someone goes down or something happens to a receiver, like they can feel confident with the next receiver going in, no matter young or old. Just the competition in our room just helps us, and that helps the team out because they can feel confident putting anybody in, like anytime, any situation.
It just means that we've got, I mean, we still have a long way to go, but we're starting at a really good spot, a good jump start. And just being able to see them play and come together as a defense, even though we're young, it was amazing. I loved it.
My salesperson is Joe Santowski, and from the moment I first walked through the doors here and he extended his hand to greet me, it's been the best relationship since then. He knows this brand and cars in general so well that I trusted him from the moment I met him. He was obviously so interested in exactly what I was looking for, what I wanted, but let me explore on my own.
Did you know there's a Mahindra for everyone and every job? Test drive and save during Harvest Demo Days. Like a 6075 four-wheel drive, a 9125, a 2538 or 2638 HST, and a 1526 or 1626 HST. And test drive Mahindra's utility vehicles too, only from the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra. Hurry in for the best savings of the year at your Wisconsin Mahindra dealer.
It's Nissan's bottom line model year-end event. Get big clearance savings on the last of our 2018s. Like Rogue, with available Pro Pilot Assist.
Get a low $199 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models.
But hurry, the bottom line and our 2018s are almost gone.
Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
It wasn't the first Sports Illustrated cover for a Badger athlete. Who could forget Frank the Tank? But splashing the Wisconsin offensive line on the cover? Unforgettable.
Pretty much no one gets to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated, so that's something super cool and something I'll cherish forever.
We're not going to change as people, that's for sure. I mean, that's probably what got us to the cover, first of all, is just being big goofs that they work hard. That's pretty much all it is. Big goofs who work hard and take their job seriously, even though sometimes they mess around. That's just kind of what we are.
It's obviously like once in a lifetime thing. Like, you know, you don't always see like O-line on like the front cover like Sports Illustrated, so that's like, it's kind of neat. But at the same time, like we haven't done anything. Like 2018, we haven't done anything really yet. So honestly, we got through fall camp and we're ready for the first game. Like, so we're gonna write our story then.
This is the most important part right behind me, and all the Twitter and covers and all that is awesome. It's really awesome for Mom, Grandma, Dad. They love it. That's awesome, but that doesn't make you a good offensive lineman.
Chevy, dive, ready, go! What does are the hours in the weight room. on the practice field and in video study, not photo shoots.
As soon as we started the workouts and in the off season, one of their first projects was we made a best of and a worst of tape where they can watch themselves, where I felt it was the best of them, and a tape where I felt it was the worst of them. And I thought it helped them to really be able to identify and focus on 3 things apiece to get better at. And it kind of became the basis for, you know, as much as Coach Ross got them stronger and worked his tail off, he also helped them with a bunch of things mobility-wise. And we worked from that aspect. And so I think it gave them great focus through the off season, and it's the same focus we have when we hit camp.
The things that made us successful last year and got us that, you know, notoriety are the same things that, you know, without the notoriety we have to still produce. So yeah, he literally doesn't show any emotion or show any type of like, hey, that's pretty cool, guys. Like, hasn't said a word. So I think that's pretty good.
Having David Edwards, Bo Benshaw, and Michael Dieter turn down the chance to leave early for the NFL raised the bar for this year's Badgers.
Touchdown, Wisconsin!
Continuing to play together makes it all worth it.
I think it was cool just because we bounced ideas off each other, and we were sounding boards going through that process. So I think for me, I was the first one to make that decision to come back, and then I was in their ear a lot, being a pest, trying to get them to come back too. So it was cool though, just because we all made it kind of together. I felt like not only me personally, but we as an offensive line could do better. So obviously I wanted to come back and be a part of something great.
It's just really comforting, I would say. Just knowing that half the time you don't even have to say a word to the guy, and you know what he's gonna do, he knows what you're gonna do. And that's not that easy.
Like really not wanting to let the guy next to you down. And that's the biggest thing for us, because if we're not doing our job, it puts the guy next to you at risk of getting hurt or something else, not him not doing his job right. So you really have to take it personally on yourself to get better and to do things great for the guys next to you so that everybody can be successful. I know that the guy next to me is going to do everything that he can to succeed and help me. You know, we're best friends off the field. I think that helps us on the field as well.
For the Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst, I'm Jay Williams.
It's Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get big clearance savings on the last of our 2018s. Like Rogue. With available Pro Pilot Assist.
Get a low $199 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models.
But hurry, the Bottom Line and our 2018s are almost gone.
Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
They are the ones who found a way to isolate a single prostate cancer cell hidden amongst a billion healthy blood cells. The ones pioneering advanced genomic testing in order to create personalized treatment protocols. They are the ones you want to talk to when the diagnosis is prostate cancer. They are the physicians and healthcare professionals at UW Health and the Carbone Cancer Center. UW Health. Remarkable.
The Learfield Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or at L Directors Cup on Twitter or Facebook. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
The Badger Sports Report with Paul Chryst is presented by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. And UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Time now for this week's Great Day and Great Question of the Week, and we check in with Glenn up in Green Bay. Curious coach, the Big Ten had Northwestern and Purdue playing each other to open the season. It's great for a fan, but as a coach, to have a conference game right away, which is something you had a few years back at Pitt. What's that like? How does that change camp, if at all?
Yeah, I like them, you know, and it's it certainly does get your players' attention, and you're going to play them at some point. So whether you play in the first week or not, you know, certainly we just saw it with the first game. You know, you're a different team probably week 1 than you are 2, 3, 4, 5, but both teams are that way. And so I don't have a problem with it at all. And I think it does grab your players' attention. And, you know, we've been fortunate first couple of years that I was back here is, you know, those are big games. You go against LSU, against Alabama, and I think it does have a little bit of different effect on your camp and the urgency of it. So I think it's good for college football. It's certainly good for us.
All right, there you have it. We thank you very much for your question. A Great Dane with 4 locations in Madison, east side of town, downtown, Fitchburg, as well as Hilldale. And as you head up north, make a stop in Wausau. The Great Dane has a location there as well. Game number 2 for the Badgers coming up on Saturday. New Mexico coming to Camp Randall. Kickoff set for 11 o'clock. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
Did you know there's a Mahindra for everyone and every job? Test drive and save during Harvest Demo Days. Like a 6075 four-wheel drive, a 9125, a 2538 or 2638 HST, and a 1526 or 1626 HST. And test drive Mahindra's utility vehicles too, only from the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra. Hurry in for the best savings of the year at your Wisconsin Mahindra dealer.
My salesperson is Joe Santowski, and from the moment I first walked through the doors here and he extended his hand to greet me, it's been the best relationship since then. He knows this brand and cars in general so well that I trusted him from the moment I met him. He was obviously so interested in exactly what I was looking for, what I wanted, but let me explore on my own.
A pulse, felt by one, sends a ripple, felt by some. A shiver, felt by many, until it amplifies, magnifies into a tremor that electrifies. Badgers everywhere, moving as one, tilting